Hey guys, long time no see. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your season 1 is going great. I hope it's fun. I was kind of busy, sorry for not posting lately, but I did play quite a lot. I did some testing on the Mistweaver. And yeah, we received a couple of nerfs last week and the week before as well, but I think still fistweaving is great and it's going really well for me, at least so far. I can share the quick ratings that I have. Solo Shuffle 2041. I haven't played too much. I usually just do my daily win, but been doing pretty good with like 66% win rate. So I think this rating is at least top 50 Europe Mistweavers. Don't want to brag, but I think it's pretty good, pretty solid. I haven't played much Battlegrounds and did quite a lot of 2v2s. You can see I have over 100, which seems like 70% win rate, which is pretty solid. Playing with random people, random classes, nothing specific. So I think Fistweaver is in a great spot, mainly in the solo shuffle, in the 2v2s, and I think doing pretty great in Battlegrounds as well. I have 14 wins, 20 losses, so again like 75% win rate, which is pretty good. I haven't done too many, so it's not a good statistic, but still it's something, you know, I think it's pretty good. So I'll be talking a bit more about the current state after, you know, all of the nerfs, my current talents that I'm using, that I feel like are working the best for Battlegrounds, and some changes for arenas. And if you stick until the end of the video, I do have some great macros. Some of them you might know, but some of them I think I created myself. I haven't seen them, nobody else using it, so I, you know, suggest you check it out. Might be really useful for your Mistweaver playing also. And yeah, I'll just ramble about what I feel like is important or might be interesting for you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I'll quickly talk about my talents that I'm using. If you saw my last video, I haven't been using the last point in Spirit Font. I was actually using it for my Shaelin's Gift. But after several matches of testing, I felt like the Shaelin's Gift is not that needed. I'm okay with the Vivifies, and usually I don't even have time to use it that effectively. And the burst in arenas right now is so big that I was looking for another cooldown I could use to save my folks in the arena or in the battleground. And I tested the Spirit Font again, and I do feel like this last point in Spirit Font is needed, actually. It's such a huge time saver and such a lifesaver, actually, because what it does is actually, it applies the Chikukun 30% effectiveness shield, but usually the shield is huge, and I feel like it's saving a lot of lives. The shield is also combined with the strength of the Black Ox if you have it active. Because what I started doing, actually, I reduced my damage a little bit. Instead of using Thunder Focus T every time with my Rushing Wind Kick, I don't do that anymore. I actually started thinking a bit more about, you know, healing. So sometimes when I feel like my friends are dying or I preemptively I want to keep them topped, I use one stack of Thunder Focus T on actually Enveloping Mist. And it's a great cooldown that you can use to save your folks if they're dying and you don't feel like using any big cooldowns. You can use a stack of Thunder Focus T on your Enveloping Mist. And what it does is, since we use Thunder Focus T, we have a guaranteed stack of Spirit Font. So it applies a huge shield from Chikukun and the strength of Black Ox. It also starts casting Soothing Mist on your target. Even if you get stunned after, the Soothing Mist will keep coming from you because of the Spirit Font. It also applies Sphere of Hope, which is increased healing to the target by 10%, which is great. And by casting Enveloping Mist instantly, you also apply the Renewing Mist for 6 seconds, which increases the healing. And Renewing Mists also apply Overflowing Mists. So long story short, you apply so much healing on your target with just one click of a button. So when your Thunder Focus T is active, you drop Enveloping Mist on your target, and it also happens in 1 second, even less than a second. And even if you get stunned, feared, or whatever, your target is stopped. It has all the buffs on them, and they're healed. They have a big shield from the things I mentioned. So I do definitely now recommend Spirit Font using it, and using it as a small cooldown from Thunder Focus Tea. If I see the killing potential, if some of the enemies is dying, and I feel like I want to use the Thunder Focus Tea fully on my Rushing Wind Kick, so it applies the Jade Firestorm as well, and I can go for the Touch of Death, then yes, I'll keep kicking with the Thunder Focus Tea. But if I don't see the kill potential, I'd rather use one stack on one of my allies with the Enveloping Mist, so I keep them healed and topped for the majority of the time. So that's the one thing I changed here on the right side. The other thing I changed is, I believe, this one. Before I used Amplified Rush, which I thought could help my healing when I'm dropping Renewing Mist. But I feel like reducing the cooldown of your Rushing Wind Kick is pretty solid. If this is on cooldown and Thunder Focus Tea is on cooldown as well, I usually, what I like to do is spend my time using the Renewing Mist on my allies. So this gives me 3 stacks. So in Arena, I'd like to keep it on all of us. In Battlegrounds, I'd like to drop it to the people around me. And I have a great macro for that, which I can show you guys later. But yeah, this, I feel like it's a great way to reduce cooldown of Rushing Wind Kick when it's down. And you also drop a lot of HOTS on your party, which keeps them healed. Right, on the left side, not many changes here. Pretty much what I do, this is what it looks like in Battlegrounds mostly, for me. I have the Jade Walk here for increased movement speed if I'm carrying flags or whatever, mostly for flags actually, or crystals or whatever else you're carrying in the Battlegrounds. Ring of Peace, I feel like it's much more useful in Battlegrounds if you wanna, block the door, block the path, or drop people from you. The only change I do for arenas, or actually this is the change I'm doing for arenas, I don't need Jade Walk in arenas, and I use Song of Chiji because it's super OP as a cool 30-second CC cooldown. And instead of this Steel Step Coil, I usually go for Escape from Reality. Like I mentioned, the burst nowadays is so big in arenas. They nerfed, I think, the burst of Subtlety Rogues and the Monks, and I think the burst was kind of nerfed the last patch, which is great because I felt like people are just dying randomly. But still, you need a way to TP twice in a row when the DPSs decide to go on you, because you can die pretty easily when the Subtlety Rogue or Fistweaver Monk attacks you. So this is what I use for Arena actually. And the last thing I want to mention, just a tip for Arena, if there's a Subtlety Rogue or a Fistweaver Monk, these I feel like they have the biggest burst right now. Against you, I prefer to use Eminence here, which means you can TP even if you're stunned. Because lately I noticed a lot of these burst characters like to kill healers. So when they stun you, when Monk stuns you or Subtlety Rogue stuns you, you want to have a way out and TP, use the Eminence and Escape from Reality to TP away from the burst. And if they follow you behind the pillar or wherever else you have left the port, you can just TP back and you save so many seconds before your cooldowns are back up. So that's I feel like important tip. Otherwise, Peaceweaver is OP if you're playing against I don't know, Destruction Warlocks or Fire Mages, Frost Mages. So these 2 seconds of magic immunity are pretty much great if you use them effectively. So yeah, these are the talent changes. Any questions, comments, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you like the suggestions, consider liking the video as well. Alright, any other notes I wanted to mention? It's mostly regarding the nerfs we've received recently. I think 2 weeks ago they nerfed our healing by 8%, but I feel like it's still in a great spot. We're still healing enough to survive in arenas and in Battlegrounds. We're doing pretty great. Even if with the buff to Resto Druids that are right now, I think we're matching them in a healing, which is great. The healing output is, I feel, really good. The damage is still great. We're not topping the damage charts anymore, but I'm happy for it actually. I felt super overpowered before and I was waiting for those nerfs to happen because I feel like the game is in much more balanced state right now, because I didn't want to be top damage if I'm not DPS. I'm actually healing, so but we're still doing like half, if not 3/4 the DPS damage. And in arenas usually it happens if the damage is average from the DPSs, I can match them in DPS as well. So really still impactful DPS. You can still go for the kills. Even with the latest nerf, which was, I think, to the Thunder Focus T and actually the Heart of the Jade Serpent, we do have less stacks of Thunder Focus T, not less stacks, but less cooldown reduction after we use the Heart of the Jade Serpent. So we have less life cocoons, we can rotate Thunder Focus T still, but a bit slowly, but I feel like it's still in a great spot. I still use life cocoon like 2 or 3 times in the arena, and I feel like we still have enough cooldowns. If you use them efficiently, you can rotate them until your mana is out. You can still survive a lot of burst, which I'll hopefully be showing to you guys in the actual video gameplay that's going in the background. Long story short, the damage is impactful. I feel like we can do a lot in the arenas. 1v1s, we're still kicking everybody's ass, and we still have enough cooldowns to keep people alive, which I do feel like is great. Alright, and last but not least, I promise you guys macros, or show you what kind of macros I'm using. Let me see if I can get it here on the screen real quick. So, not using many macros recently. Most of them are mouse over macros, or some of these are old that I'm not using anymore. But the one I wanted to share with you guys is this one. You might have seen this one in the other videos. I actually got it years ago from some of the other mistweavers that are using it, and I do feel like it's really useful with the crowd control or the CCs being so strong in the arena. What you want to do is just use it with your Rising Sun kick and use these lines to use provoke, or it's pretty much taunt. You want to taunt, it's going to taunt any arena pets, it's going to target any arena. So if you're polymorphed or frost trap or whatever else CC you receive, if you provoked the hunter pet or any other pet in the arena, maybe that knight pet previously, before you got CC'd, there's a good chance that it will run to attack you and it will cancel your CC. So doesn't happen that often, but I do notice it from time to time when I receive polymorph or freezing trap that I get hit and it removes the CC. So I do feel like this is one of the most useful ones. The other one I'm using is a lazy renewing mist macro. It's pretty simple, it looks really simple, but since the renewing mist as a hot, it always jumps on a target that requires the healing the most. If the target is full, it jumps to the other target. So this macro works great if you have the action targeting, enable action targeting, this one, yeah. So this macro, if you have this action targeting on and you use this macro, mostly in Battlegrounds, it helps you to cast it on the target that you're looking at. You don't even have to have it in target. You don't even have to mouse over the target. The only important thing is that your camera is pointing at it. So in Battleground, I'm lazy to mouse over the people. I just want to spread the renewing mist as much as I can. So you can see here, I was just looking at the guy and it casted it on him. If I hold Alt, it casts on me. So I already spent 2 stacks. I want to use it, for example, on this guy. So I'll just look at him. Okay, he's PvP disabled, but maybe this one, PvP disabled also. So yeah, maybe cast it on this guy. I look at him and you can see it casted the renewing mist on him. So yeah, if you're lazy like me in Battlegrounds and you don't want to mouse over the people, I recommend this macro. It's really fun for me just to chill in Battlegrounds and look at people and cast the renewing mist on them like I did now on this guy. So yeah, this is the macro I came up with, and if you find it useful for you, or if you want to try it, please do so. I can copy the actual macro in the comment section, and yeah, consider liking, and overall, if you like the video and you stayed this long, consider subscribing to the channel as well. I'll try to post more videos in the future, but like I mentioned, lately it's been a bit busy, so I'll try to do better. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I do hope you're doing well, and I hope I see you in the next one.